The General Hospital reveal that shocked nobody finally happened. The audience finally has confirmation that Geo is indeed Brook Lynn's long-lost son. But neither character knows it.gh had been dropping hints for months that Brook Lynn Amanda Setton had a child as a teen. When Brook Lynn and Lois Rena Sofer finally discussed the situation 2 weeks ago, nobody was surprised. In fact, fans were just waiting for someone to please acknowledge that family friend Gio Palmieri Giovanni Mazza was the son that Brook Lynn gave up for adoption. Lois did just that when she visited Marty Michael E. Knight and hired him as her attorney to ensure the adoption remained sealed. And Gio and Brook Lynn never learned that they were related. The fact that they live in the same house and have been growing closer every day could also complicate things. Gio has become Brook Lynn's young confidant, while she has become the college student's mentor. It's a sticky situation indeed, especially now that Brook Lynn knows that Chase is sterile, and they can't have a baby the old-fashioned way. According to Amanda Setton, the complexities of this storyline explain many of Brook Lynn's actions over the last few years. When Setton returned from her maternity leave toward the end of 2020, Brook Lynn was sporting a fake baby belly and claiming to be pregnant with Valentine Cassidy's James Patrick Stewart child. When she needed a real baby to play the part of her fake baby, Maxie Kirsten Storms loaned Brook Lynn her newborn, while trying to keep the infant hidden from her dastardly dad, Peter August Wes Ramsey. Brook Lynn named the baby Bailey and took care of her as her own for nearly a year. I do think that we now have a bit more color as to why she has such a strong connection to children, Setton told Soap Opera Digest in an interview. I think what's evident in the coming months of this Brook Lynn baby storyline is that she really had to lock this information away inside of her and compartmentalize in order to survive emotionally. I've enjoyed playing this duality of almost a realization that her deep yearning to be a mother that has sort of played inside of her throughout the story these last few years was actually her exercising a part of herself that was already tapped into in some small way, but that she wasn't even conscious of. Setton acknowledged that GH has altered character history a bit to tell this story, but she is okay with the show taking such liberties, as it's something soaps are apt to do. Dante Dominic Zamprogna has always been several years older than Brook Lynn, but now we are told they were at summer camp together as teens, where Brook Lynn became pregnant. I think when it comes to the camp stuff, I think the way Dom and I have reconciled it in our minds is that our characters are not exactly the same age. We may be 2 years apart or 3 years apart. Or, I was a freshman, he was a junior, she said. I mean, there's definitely some difference in age. I do think there is a tad of a suspension of disbelief required. But then I also feel I don't know, is it that big of an age difference? Dante has no idea that he is also living in the same house with a son he never knew he had. But when he finds out, that's when the real soap begins. Amanda Setton went into detail about what's been going through Brook Lynn's mind and what's fueling her need to be a mother. The drama over the child that Brook Lynn gave up as a teenager continues to unfold on General Hospital. Worried that lives would be disrupted if the truth got out, Lois went to Martin for legal advice and admitted that Gio is Brook Lynn's long-lost child. Meanwhile, BLQ has been carrying around this secret for decades. Amanda Setton opened up about what's going through her character's mind. Setton explained to Soap Opera Digest that this storyline will have ripple effects and will touch many characters' lives for a long time. She praised the writing, stating, "I just think it's a brilliant story point to bring out, and makes for a lot of drama." Dante Dominic Zamprogna has no idea that he's the baby's father, and Setton said that there are several ways the secret's revelation could unfold. Because Brook Lynn and Chase Josh Swickard found out they can't have children, the mystery of where her child went off to has been nagging at her. She is torn between revealing that she had a kid when she was young and continuing to keep the painful secret. "It's eating her up alive," she stated. "I think that now that the box has sort of been broken open for her, she can't put it away. She doesn't know how to tell Chase. She doesn't want to tell Dante." Setton noted that although BLQ started off as a selfish young woman, her character has evolved, especially after she pretended that Maxie's Kirsten Storm's baby, Bailey Lou, was hers to keep the child safe. She noted that as a result, we really got to see this whole different side of her that even surprised herself. Now Brook Lynn's dealing with the past trauma of having a child at a young age and giving it up. She really had to lock this information away inside of her and compartmentalize in order to survive emotionally, Setton stated. She further explained that because those memories were still in the back of Bielku's head, they fueled her desire to be a mother. But she wasn't even conscious of it. A theory that General Hospital viewers have been speculating about for months was finally confirmed on the show's February 6th episode. Brook Lynn secretly gave birth to Dante's child when she was a teenager, and Gio is their son. While Dante is completely unaware that he even has another child, Brook Lynn has no idea that the baby she gave up for adoption 21 years ago is living in the very house as her and her teenage fling. The fallout of this revelation is bound to be messy and complicated, and Brook Lynn's portrayer, Amanda Setton, shared with Soap Opera Digest that she hopes viewers will suspend disbelief to go along with this retcon storyline. "I'm really into this storyline," she began. "I think it has the makings of an incredible web. It touches so many people, so many characters on the canvas. It just has such a far reach. I just think it's a brilliant story point to bring out, and makes for a lot of drama." Brook Lynn and Dante having slept together at summer camp more than 2 decades ago rewrites the established history between these two characters. And that, Setton suggested, is where viewers need to let go of what has played out on screen in the past, and go along for the current ride. "I think in Port Charles, there's always a tad of a suspension of disbelief," she noted. "There has to be just a tad." Regarding the revision of Dante and Brook Lynn's history, making them closer in age than what had previously been established in GH history, Setton explained how she and co-star Dominic Zamprogna had justified the backstory. "The way Dom and I have reconciled it in our minds is that our characters are not exactly the same age. We may be 2 years apart or 3 years apart," the actress said. "There's definitely some difference in age. I do think there is a tad of a suspension of disbelief needed for this storyline. But then I also feel like, is it that big of an age difference? Not only is Brook Lynn keeping the truth about their child from Dante, but her husband, Chase, is unaware that his wife is harboring such a major secret from her past. Until Chase's infertility became an issue, Brook Lynn never had any reason to need to bring up the child she gave away, but now it's all she can think about."